All right, it is now 58 minutes after the hour, 79 degrees on the 18th of August of 2022. I just love the way 2022 got a little fling to it. But with no further ado, here is our guest of the hour who's kicking off our new show. She was so excited for kicking it off, and I talked to her last night. I said, I'm gonna ask you some tough questions, and she got quiet. Never known Jasmine being quiet. Haven't known her that long, but I know she is not a quiet person. So I got her. And then I explained to her the reason why. I said, I do not go into personal details. This is your platform for you to express what's going on with you. And you could tell everybody the story. So Jasmine, how you doing this morning?
I'm doing lovely. How are you?
I am doing great. Somebody just told me they can't hear you. I got cut up this.
Oh,
There we go. Now they can hear you. Now they can hear you. Let me double check something else right here because I'm always messing around with stuff. Let me see here. All right, that looks good. All righty. So it's a beautiful morning. The last time we talked, first time we talked, it was hotter than anything outside.
sure was.
And now it don't cool off. See, I get these phone calls that you know who's calling me?
Oh.
The Medicare.
Uh-oh.
And a while back I put them on blast. I put them live on the radio. Because they said, you're on a recorded line. I said, you live on WSN radio. What's that? I said, tune to WSN radio. They hung up. So those are things that we do around it. But anyway, let's get back and talk about you.
Okay.
I think I talked to LaToya. I had talked to her first. And I don't know if you've seen her interview or not, but shortly after that, did you reach out to me? I reached out to you. I can't remember.
You reached out to me.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So and I do that. I see things that's going on, and LaToya was telling me there's 20 and not 19.
Yeah, it's a lot of us.
So I was intrigued on about the book, and that took a lot of courage for you 20 young ladies to speak their story. And I spoke earlier on the radio that the thing that I always ask, were you prepared for the repercussions that was coming your way? And I summed it up like this. Now you could tell me I'm wrong or not. I could be wrong. Just let me know. But I summed up like this. The ones that came back at you is always say the reason why they came back negative to you because the truth hurts.
Yeah.
That's how I summed it up, because anytime you speak the truth and somebody get upset, you stepped on some toes they didn't want you to.
That's right.
So without further ado, go ahead, young lady. So, but give us a background. How did you go about in writing your side of it?
Sorry, somebody's calling.
Somebody like you. Look at that. I'm not mad at you.
Well, for me, how did I go about writing this? Well, I was asked to be a part of the Unmuted. If I wanted to be a part of the Unmuted. And at first, I didn't know what it meant. I was like, well, what does that mean? And so I had to look up the definition. And I started to ask God and say, what story do I have to tell people? And he said, you have a whole lot. You have a whole lot to say. And I just started to talk to my phone. I'm a type of bot to talk to my phone so it can write it by itself. And the story just came all about me. It's so much in me. And I just started to say it all. Before you knew it, I had a whole chapter, and I still have some more, but we'll leave that for another time.
All right.
That's how I started to write in this book.
Okay, so for you to tell your story, what is something that fester inside you for years? And where do you get the courage to come up and finally speak out?
Where did I get the courage? Well, I certainly didn't get it from myself, because I'm just like, I came from a household where, your business stays inside the house and no one else needs to know what's going on. And I hold that with me for a long time until God spoke to me and said, you need to tell people your story, because there's so many people that have been through what you've been through, are going through what you're going through, and they need your voice. They need to know that they're not alone, that this is not something new under the sun that they are going through. And so because God told me that there's people that need me, then I had to ask for courage from him to be able to write and tell my story.
Wow, this was a young, when I first started doing this, I ran across this young lady that told her story. I don't know if you've seen it, but it was Sandra Lynn Williams.
Okay.
And she told her story. It started off November 1st, 2018. And when you get a chance, go back and see that story, which turned around. She opened up. It took her years to open this back in 2018. Wow. And she opened up in 2022. And I watched her blossom from the first interview all the way on. She has really opened up and she feels real good about herself.
Oh my goodness.
Now, getting back to you with that, once you open up and everything was released, did you feel good about yourself? Do you have any regrets, or just tell us what the excitement was for you?
The excitement. Well, at first, just the teeny wins. I was like, ooh, maybe I should have said that. But then once I started to write and I started to open up, it's kind of hard for me to go backwards. So I'm just like, oh, let me tell y'all, because I just want to see people free. I want to see people whole and happy. And so it made me excited to be able to open up and talk about my testimonies and the things that I went through, because I want to help people. So I'm stay on excited. If you know me, I'm excited always. And then just to do this made it double exciting.
So once you started writing your part of the book, did you get a writer's cramp, as they say? You hit a roadblock and you had to sit back and maybe a day or two, or maybe as long as a week, to figure out where I'm going? Or did it just flow?
Parts of it just flew, but as I began to write, I kind of got stuck a little bit. I was like, well, where am I gonna go with this? God, where do you want me to go with this? And it did take me a while. I was like, I don't know what to say. And then once it downloaded in me what to say and how to say it, it just kept going and going. It was like I was having a conversation with somebody. That's how I view writing, having a conversation with somebody, and it just kept on going, spilling out like water. So
but when you were writing all that stuff, did it bring back memories, and did it trigger new memories that you had suppressed, that once you started writing about it, you start remember this, start remember that, and all of a sudden it all came back to life again?
Yeah. Time after time. And this is why, I'm triggered by this and this. And it was very emotional for me. I'm an emotional person, but it was very extra emotional just to bring back those memories as a child, as a young woman, the things that I've been through. I'm just like, wow, I made it through all of that and I'm still standing. And so it was emotional.
So we're going to go back a little bit, because I'm going to ask this question.
Okay.
How long did you keep that suppressed? How many years did you keep that suppressed before you said enough is enough?
Well, in the book, I talked about when I was young as a child and parts of me being an adult. So just think back, maybe 10, 11, 12 years old. And I'm 29 today. So, from 12 to 29 is a long time. A long time.
With all that going on, those years that you're waiting, how much did that affect your life? Your way of living, Did you have to constantly look back over your shoulder, or is it you had to suppress for so long that you thought you dealt with it, but yet it showed its ugly head from time to time?
Of course it did, Ron. Of course it showed its ugly head. Yes. Just throughout my life, throughout the time that I was holding it inside of my heart, on my back, it rolled my back. I mean, crazy. And it showed itself a lot to where sometimes I didn't even know why I was triggered by something. I didn't know. I would just get mad or I would get emotional. And I was ashamed. I was scared. I was depressed. I was all those things. I really didn't know why. But when I started to read what I wrote, I'm just like, wow, you got triggered because of that happened to you. You act like this because that happened to you. And different things just kind of just spiraled to me. And as I look back on my life, I'm just like, wow, Jazz, wow, you had an emotional childhood, adulthood, and this is the reason why. So yeah, it showed itself a lot of times and people just didn't know why.
And and that leads to this right there. They didn't know your story.
No, sir.
They
Sure
didn't
not.
they did not know the reason why you were like this. You was emotional, up and down, and they said, "What is wrong with her? She was this. What happened overnight?" And they probably looked at you side eye, want to know what is wrong with Jasmine.
That's wrong.
But Jasmine didn't say anything. She kept it bottled up inside and thought, like everybody, I could handle it.
That's right.
And found out you really couldn't handle it.
That's right. That is so true. I needed help. I needed help from the one upstairs because I couldn't do it by myself. I couldn't continue to have this weight on my heart, this weight on my back, and continue to try to maintain living life, a healthy life, a happy life. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. I didn't know where to go to, who to run to. It was a lot. But when I got to know God and I got to know who He is and what He wants to do for me, in me, I'm sorry, I'm getting a little bit emotional.
That's all right. That's all right. Take your time. Take your time.
I found my best friend, and he is it for me. And he has walked with me through the difficult times, even when I didn't know that he was there. And to have him to help me, to heal me from all the issues they say in our tissues, has been remarkable for me, has been uplifting for me. And I continue to smile because it's been a journey, but I'm still standing.
I hear you on that. So let's break it down this way. Well, not really break it down. So how do your group of 20 ladies got together? Because this is a feat right here. 20 ladies getting together, telling their stories. And when I talked to LaToya, she thought she had it bad until she heard somebody else's story. Then that person thought it had it bad until they heard somebody else's story. Mm-hmm. So what was y'all common goal together, your 20 ladies together, to tell your story? It's got to be something common in there that drew y'all all together.
Well, it's one person, and her name is Pastor Tondra Williams. And if it wasn't for her, we wouldn't come together. It wouldn't be no 20 ladies. It would probably just be her and herself. But it was her. She is the one that opened up. She is the one that called us in and said, you know what, you have a story to tell. And I want you to tell it. I want you to heal from it. I want you to tell other people so they can be set free from it. And if it wasn't for her, it wouldn't be no unmuted book. It wouldn't be us healing from something. So kudos to her for doing what she does, and being who she is. So if it wasn't for her, yeah, you wouldn't see me up here with no unmuted nothing.
So did she go out and find all y'all ladies, or were y'all drawn to her?
Well, we actually go to the same church. So she is my pastor. And she had this group, Women Get in Position, and she talked about being unmuted. So she would do something every day in this Women Get in Position group. And she just talked about opening up, open your mouth, break the chains, open the door, talk, open your mouth. And at first I was like, what do you mean open your mouth? What are you trying to say? And as she continued to do it, I continued to come to understanding what she meant. And so as far as the other ladies, I'm guessing she knew them. Some she knew them, some was drawn to her. I'm pretty sure everybody got a different story because we didn't all know each other. It wasn't like we was all in the same church or we was all in the same group and came together. We come from different places. Some of them, we all go to church together. Some of them, they don't go to church with us. Or, you know, she knows them from, you know, whatever. So we all come from different places and we all just merged together into this one book.
Wow. And I hear there's part 2 coming up.
Oh, you better believe it.
So part 2 is going to be something else, but some of the stuff that everybody go through in life, I think sometimes we take it for granted.
Yes.
It's a lot of things that we do, but you it was a song that says, don't know what you got till it's gone.
That's right.
And when that happens, then you have a chance to sit back and really, really think about yourself in life. Because the whole deal is, if you don't love yourself, who's going to love you?
That's right.
You know, you have to love yourself first. That's where the strength comes from right there. It starts off with you.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't realize that. They think that you could tell somebody else, they could tell you, no, it starts off with you. You have to do it for yourself, just like intervention. You can't tell nobody they have to go over and do this. They're not going to do it. They have to be ready to do it for themselves.
That's right.
So if you turn around and force somebody to do something, you know what you're doing? You're closing that door almost forever. They don't want to open it up. You got to let them come out.
That's right.
And with the 20 of y'all ladies getting together and coming out, that's an eye opener by itself. I read books with one person, but not 20. And that's not a miracle. That's God's word bringing y'all together. And everybody's coming up with the same thing. And I guess if I was a fly on the wall, when y'all sat down and told your story, I could see the looks y'all giving each other. Like, really? I thought I was the one that went through that. You're kidding me. And with that going on, and I'm pretty sure it was some emotional sessions.
Yes.
That was as true emotional. That's healing.
Yes.
That's what it was. So when going up and down with you, for instance, you know, you had your peaks and you had your valleys. So I want to talk about your valleys because we know what your peaks are, because I bragged to everybody, you have a bubbling personality. That is your peak for you. But your valleys, when they hit low, what was going through your mind when you hit, I don't want to say rock bottom, but it's almost like that if you got to tell a story about what happened. So when you hit that bottom, how did it make you feel?
It made me feel that like I wasn't worthy. I wasn't worthy of living. I didn't want to be in this thing called life because so much had happened to me. So many tears I've cried. And I didn't want to be in life. I didn't want to continue to suffer as I thought. I didn't want to continue to be ashamed. I didn't want to continue to be sad. I wanted to be happy. I wanted to enjoy life. And I felt like I couldn't. I felt like it was always something. I'm getting emotional right now.
Go ahead, take your time. Just go ahead, take your time.
It wasn't great. There was many days I spent in the restroom balled up. I used to have this radio that my mom gave me, where you can put the CD and the cassette in and to play, the radio or whatever. And I would turn it up and I would go in the restroom, lock the door, but people didn't know that there were times when I was balled up inside the tub when I was crying as a child, because I was so depressed. I was so I had low self-esteem. I didn't love myself. I didn't care to want to wake up the next day and do life again. It was rough. It's rough. Feel like you're alone, that you're alone, that you don't have nobody to talk to, that no one would understand. So those are the times where I wouldn't want to go back because they weren't happy times.
You point out what you just said, that is key to everything, that nobody will understand.
Mm-hmm.
And it's sad to say that, again, nobody knew your story. And what you said, what happened in the house, stay in the house. So if it's any other Black families, they got to understand this. When you go outside the house and tell somebody else what's going on, your house got upset. You are not supposed to say that to nobody. Stays in the house.
Right.
So that's how I grew up. What happened in the house stayed in the house.
Right.
And that's such an old, but there's a lot of things happening in the house that should not be happening in the house.
Mm-hmm.
And when you go out and speak about it, you talking about you giving our family a bad name. Why are you saying this? Why are you saying that? Are you sure it really happened? Then they start questioning you, want to know, well, I don't think that really happened. And you look at that person, you kidding me, right? I was there, it happened. Mm-hmm. So those some of the things that you go through that you have to, it's a stigma. So those some things you have to go through. And then on top of that, you have to go to school.
Yeah.
You have to come home and clean up. You got to do your chores. You have to show up to family functions where you really don't want to be there. You have to put a smile on your face like nothing's going on.
That's right.
I told my son years ago, and I use this all the time. You go through a neighborhood and drive up and down the street. All them houses look beautiful on the outside, but you don't know the story on the inside.
That is so true.
You know, and I say, it's just, if that house could talk, if them walls could talk and come out to you what's going on, whew, I don't know. It's just, I'm just sitting out here, I feel for you. I feel for you. You and the other 19 ladies, I deeply, I feel for you to come across and tell your story. It's just, it's a miracle. I'm going to say it's a miracle that you survived and where you at right now.
That's right.
So now we talked about that. We're going to talk about where you at right now.
Okay.
So let me tell you something about this lady right here. When I first talked to Jasmine, she was bubbly like this. And she was saying, oh my God, I can't believe you want to talk to me. And I said, yes, because you got a story to tell. And if anybody know me, I sit there and talk to you for hours just to get to know you and just seeing how your personality is. And then I could tell from there that, yes, I want that person on my show. Ashley opened up right away. It wasn't, I had to be a dentist and pull the information out. She was so free-hearted and so a bubbly personality. She just opened up and she was telling me a little bit of everything. I said, girl, I don't want to know all that. I'm just messing with her. So we talked a couple hours or more, something like that. When we talked, I called her back and I stayed in contact with her. I texted her the other day and said, when you get a chance, can you give me a call if it's not too late? And she called me last night. We talked about another 20 minutes, maybe 30 minutes, just to let her know when you come on the show, just be yourself. Don't worry about anything. Just be yourself. Nobody's going to be judgmental. And so we talked a little bit, but what I didn't know was her other side. Now she's got another side besides that sign in back of saying fabulous, which before we go on, where did that sign come from? Why is that sign up there?
Why is that sign up there?
Yes, it's got to be a reason.
It helped me. So when I see stuff like that, absolutely fabulous, I say, yep, girl, you are. Because there was times when I didn't love myself, and I do today. And now I'm not going backwards and saying that I don't love myself, because I am absolutely fabulous. So that keeps me going when I sit in my office. So that's why that's there.
All right. I just want to make sure. I thought it said famous, but I looked at it fabulous. So, but so you're when talking to you, you tell me that you have another business that you started.
Yes.
And I was real intrigued with that right there. So I'm not gonna say what it is. I'm gonna leave it up to you. So what else does Miss Jasmine Richardson do?
What else do I do? Well, I am the director and teacher over the Chosen Ones Academy. It's a homeschool that I have created, that God gave to me to create. And it's a faith-based homeschool, where we focus on math, reading, writing, Black history. And so in these schools nowadays, you don't hear a lot of Black history. Only time you hear about Black history is what? February and January, when it's Martin Luther King, or February when it's Black History Month. But throughout the whole year, you don't hear anything. Black kids don't know their history. And I said, oh Lord, that's a shame. We're gonna have to come up with something for these kids to know. And then also, since it's a faith-based, we are going to be teaching them about faith, about God. I mean, it's not too early for kids to know how to pray, how to defeat the devil, and to know who God is. Kids need God too, not just adults. Kids need God too, and to know who He is and what He's about. And so this homeschool is something dear to my heart, that I just cannot wait until the school semester starts next Monday. I've always wanted to be a teacher. Ever since I was a young kid, I had dolls and teddy bears around me with pen and paper, pretending like they could write, right? And I was given hundreds and check marks and stars on paper. And I carried that throughout my my life. Even when I was in 12th grade at prom, I was nominated to come back as a teacher to teach at my high school, which was Sam Houston High School. And I was like, really? Y'all nominated me to do that? So it's no surprise what God had in store for me, even though I struggled in school. So I struggled to read and to spell in school, and I was ashamed of that. And so this is why it is important to me. This school is very important to me, and teaching kids is important to me, because we all struggle in something, but we shouldn't be ashamed that we struggle in something. And so it is my goal to reach every child where they are, and to rise them up to where they need to be, and to be successful and beyond. So that is what I do. I am the famous Miss Jazz, and I am just really excited about this homeschool.
Oh, well. So how many students do you have?
Right now I have 2.
Okay.
I just opened up this this school year. So I was supposed to open up last school semester, but I kind of backed away, and God said, no, ma'am, you need to go forward. And it's open, it's full effect, and we're gonna get down, and more students are gonna come. So I've seen it, I know it's coming, and I can't wait to meet each child that comes through.
Well, the way it is nowadays, the way it is out there now, I have no doubt you have some more kids coming your way, because what kids are out there enduring right now, they shouldn't have to.
Right.
It was a time that me growing up school was a safe haven.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't a soft target, as they call it nowadays. It was once your kids went to school, parents had nothing to worry about.
Right.
But now we have to worry about it, and we shouldn't have to. We shouldn't have to at all. So, with your homeschool, what age group is it?
I do 2nd through 5th grade.
2nd through 5th. Oh, you got the wonder years. That's what I call it. The reason why I call it the wonder years, you want to wonder when they're gonna pick up, or all this going on. I taught for a little bit, so I understand about
Wow.
the teaching part. I taught at Gary Job Corps.
Really?
Yes, I taught out there in the mid '90s. Well,
Wow.
I'm saying my age now, so but when I was teaching, I did find out one thing, that the last thing we do is teach. The first thing we do, we're the counselors.
Yes.
We got to solve their problems, what's going on.
Right.
And then we got to listen to all the turmoil that they went through. Then
Mm-hmm.
finally, the last 15 minutes, you get to teach. So I remember going to I still call it, it's not Texas State to me, it's Southwest Texas State University. When I went there, we went become a teacher. Back then there was a TCAT you had to take.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you're familiar with that, but it was a test that teachers had to take to say they're able to teach.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what I gather from when you got your teaching certificate, it was a lifetime. But somebody jumped up and said, "This, you got to do this." So that TCAT, to me, from what I did is you wrote paragraphs. They want to know, make sure you know how to spell, write, punctuate, all that good stuff. But it went to somebody in Iowa, and they would read your paper, and 9 times out of 10, they would say, "Well, this, it." But the demographics are different from Texas and Iowa, and vice versa. So we lost a lot of teachers because of that. It just went crazy. So when I was teaching, there was always the bright students and always the one at the bottom and the one in the middle. Well, the one at the top and one at the bottom, they didn't like each other because they thought they were smarty pants. But the ones in the middle were the ones I concentrated on. I had them sit with somebody, tutor them from the ones that was smart. Then I turned around once they got it. I had them tutor with somebody else that, I hate to use the word, was on the bottom. So I had kids helping kids out instead of me jumping in, being an adult, being an authority figure. So I said, I'm going to turn this around. I'm going to let them take care of each other. And it turned out pretty good. It turned out real good. So I know about the part about teaching. And back then, I'm not to be ashamed of my salary. Back then, I wasn't even making $20,000 a year teaching. It's the lowest paid job around.
That's
And
right.
now they can't even make $50,000 teaching because they're not teaching now. They want them to carry guns to school. They want them to do everything but being a teacher. So they lost track on that. And
Mhm.
I applaud you for pulling up your bootstraps and taking that leap of faith to go out and do what God wants you to do.
Yeah.
And you're only gonna be successful at it because you went through your trials and tribulations. I mean, there's more coming, but not what you went through already.
That's right.
So now if you getting out there now, your mind is focused and you know what you need to do.
Yes.
Like what's that song by Surface? Only You Can Make Me Happy. I quote a lot of songs, so so with that going on with you, you're teaching and everything. What are you looking forward to? What does Jasmine see coming into her life in a few years from now?
As far as teaching or just
In
Jasmine's work, period.
Jasmine, period. What Jasmine gonna do? What she wants to do, or what's embedded in her heart that she wants to do a few years down the road?
Oh, well, I'll tell just a teaspoon because I don't want it all out at one time. But I definitely want to start a boutique. And I'm gonna keep the name to myself, but it is for, I say, diva size women. And what that means is plus size women. I personally think, as a plus size diva woman, that they don't have so many good clothes for us, which is so sad because we want to be fabulous too. So I definitely want to open up a boutique for my diva size women to feel happy, to feel like they can get down to with what they wear, from the shirts to the jeans to the dress to the shoes to the purse to the hat to whatever it is. And then down the line, well, I think I'll go ahead and express what I want to do. I
All
want to
right.
open up my own community center. And I say that because there are so many kids that are out at nighttime, and their parents may work, or parents may be doing other stuff that they shouldn't be doing. And these kids are outside, they're running around getting to bad things. And the community center that I want to open, it allows kids to come in to get tutoring from school, from where they just been, to get a dinner, because some kids, they don't get to eat, to have recreation, but to also have a safe place where they can come in to be safe, to have fun, to be able to open up, and just all those great things that I want these kids in the community to have. Like my own children, I have 3 boys, 10, 9, and 5. And I want them to be able to be safe in their community, to feel love in their community, to feel like they can go somewhere to get tutoring for no cost. They don't have to be ashamed because they don't know something and go back to school and not know it still. I want kids to be able to come in to get a full meal and to know that they're going to eat and they're not going to starve. I want kids to know they can come in and feel loved and protected. So that is something from years from now that I truly want to do for my community.
Well, it won't be years from now. It's right around the corner for you. It's right around the corner for you. I see it. So you expressed it, you claimed it, it's going to be yours.
Amen. That's right.
I feel you on that. With you doing your show, your school and everything, I sort of feel you because I'm a one-man show with my radio. There's nobody else doing this. I'm the only one in this studio doing things and making it happen. Because like you, basically God Sabbath told me, get off your butt and go out there and do what you do best.
That's right.
And then I have a dear friend of mine. I bring her up all the time, Veronica, and her husband, Glenn. Veronica told me point blank, you have a gift, use it.
That's right.
And that's I call her my baby sister. And she pushes, and she's got the knack of pushing you to your gift, whether you know it or not. And half the time people don't even know their gift. Have you found that out? You have to look at people and hey, you do good at it. They go, oh, I do all right. But you tell me that's your gift.
Yes.
Because when you're in church, God said they want to use your gift for the church. Mm-hmm. Everybody in that church, in that congregation, has some type of gift to bring to the church. And a lot of people are shy about bringing it up. But once they do, they're out there, they feel better.
That's right.
So we all got gifts, and you got a ton of gifts.
Yeah, you know what? I didn't even know until I came to my church, the best church I say around, which is Laundry Bible 210. I didn't know. I did not know I had so many gifts inside of me. I just thought that I can just do stuff, and that was just it. But when I met my pastors, my pastor Leah Williams III, and of course Pastor Tondra Williams, and they told me my purpose, because they are a purpose house. I was like, me? God put that in me? Are you for real? And they're like, yeah, you got it. And I'm doing things I didn't know that I could do. So kudos to them for helping me along the way. So you're right. I got a whole lot of gifts, and I'm going to shoot them out. Yes, I am.
One at a time. But knowing your gift, you got one gift that a lot of people don't have. There's a lot of people that have this gift. There's some that couldn't do it if you showed them. And that gift is you are very organized. Without knowing you, without seeing things that you do, but listen to things that you can do, you have to be organized in order to do all that. So, are you organized?
I try to be most times.
Okay. But, and then the other one is being organized. A lot of people cannot multitask. And if you can multitask, 9 times out of 10, you're organized. Because you wouldn't be able to multitask if you didn't know where things are at. So that's organization right there.
And I'm a single mom with 3 boys, so I better know how to multitask. One here, one there. I'm doing everything.
But you know what? Multitask is so hard for people to do. You know, because I remember going to college. Here I go, see my age again. I could watch TV. The sound be down on the TV. I'll be listening to music, and I'll be doing my homework and cooking,
Uh-oh.
doing all those. So then I was a single parent with 2 boys at the time, and I will go ahead and get that all going. They come home from school. I'm going to school. They come home from school. I'm in there cooking. I got the TV on with the volume down. My son said, "Dad, how you know what's going on?" Trust me, I know what's going on. And so things I did like that, and that helped me out to be organized and multitasking. So that helped me out a lot on what I'm doing, because right now, what was our word the other day, the brotherhood meeting? It was one, resilience. They brought that up, and I said, resilient. That means if something happened right now, you right away snap up and know how to fix that problem right away. There's some people sit there and look at it and say, woe is me, woe is me. But if you jump up and be resilient, as they say, you could jump up and take care about anything that comes your way. Is that you?
What he said, is that true? I mean, he came at me, did he?
Yeah, I told you I was going to do that.
Yes.
See?
Most of the time, yes. I'll say
See?
most of the time. I ain't gonna lie on the air because I ain't gonna lie. So I'm gonna say most of the time, Ron.
All right. Well, I'll take most of the time as all the time. The reason why I say that, because you're saying most of the time, but them times that you're not too sure, you're still resilient. You see? Sure. So pat yourself on the back for the things that you're going through.
Hey.
There's not everybody that could, what you went through, could handle it the best way you handled it.
That's right.
You know, you look at things like that, and then you can look at other women, and I bet you can look at some people, you can say they have some problems. I was going to say issues, but problem sounds better than issues. So, you know, by looking at them, they got a situation, but you don't go right away, girl, you got a problem. You talk to me right now. Let me know what's going on. That'll shut them off like anything. That would just say, that clam up and let them talk to you.
That's right.
And so I see that in you. I see you nurturing down the line other women. And with the book out right now, that's right on point. So since we brought up the book, how can people get a hold of your book?
Well, OMG. Well, if they go to my page or even on the radio's page and where my little picture is, it will have the link to go ahead and order your book today. It also comes with a shirt that says, I will not be silent. So y'all just go ahead and get y'all book today. It's going to bless your soul. And we pray that it will open you up to tell your testimony as well. So y'all get down to the link, honey.
What is the other contact information that you can hand out to anybody who wants to know anything else?
Well, as far as the book?
As far as the book, you know what? I talked to LaToya and I said, when are y'all ladies getting together? I'd like to come out and meet you. She said, we already did that. I said, oh man. I said, well, let me know next time around, because I want to come out there and talk to you and interview everybody. That's what I want to do.
They would love that. We would all love that.
I would love to get together, and I just want to feel the love in the room. Yes. Because there's a lot of love in that book and in that room. And I think at the end of the day, every last one of you young ladies appreciate each other.
Yes. So, that's true. You never know, by looking at somebody, you never know what somebody has went through. how many tears they have cried. And reading this book, it opened our hearts more for each other and just getting an understanding of a person. And so I'm thankful for the book for many reasons. And some of these women I know personally because we go to the same church and we're, sisters in Christ and all that good, yummy, yummy stuff. And it's like, wow, I didn't know you went through that. I didn't know that happened to you. And you just never know. You never know. You can see somebody and you can judge them by just how they look, but you don't know what they went through. You don't know how many hula hoops they had to jump through just to be here today. And so I am very thankful for this book that has came out.
Wow. You know what? I had a question. I just came into my head.
Okay.
Now you're talking about women right here, and there are men out there who are very judgmental and would not listen to your story. They will, how can I put it? Most women think the men out there are always trying to fix something when it's really not even a problem. All they want you to do is listen to them. So how do you feel about that? Because I listen, I have no choice. I was brought up around strong Black women. And I was told you never hit a woman, you never do. If they do, my family gonna come after me. So I will not ever do that, So I listen because there's a side that I said it today on the radio show. In order to be a great communicator, you have to be a great listener.
That's right.
So have you ran across problems with men that don't want to hear you out?
That don't want to hear me out. Lately, I'm going to say no, but surely in my past, I'm going to say yes. There are some men out there that don't like to listen, that don't want to hear. And it's just true. So yeah, I've been across some that really don't really want to hear what you have to say. But then the men that I do have in my life, I've been through, they want to listen. They want to, they are caring and understanding. I mean, like you said, you have to be a great listener. You have to listen to somebody to know what an issue is, to know what they're going through, to know how they feel in order to respond to them appropriately. So kudos to those men out there that are in my life that do that.
Okay. Now let's flip it.
Okay.
There's also some women out there who really don't give a what.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, girl, you just talking. None of that happened. Not even knowing your story.
That's right.
The ones who saying that, probably the same thing happened to them.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you feel about women that brush you off and tell you don't know what you're talking about?
Oh, you're trying to hit me right there, aren't you? Just
yes.
Well, it's disheartening for one because we're both women, but it's very sad. And it's like, I know you have a story too, girl. I'm telling you my story. I'm telling you the things I went through. And maybe it doesn't match or it's not similar to what you've been through, but we are women and we have been through things differently, the same, however it is. So get on the program and be right. I mean, so many women out there that don't care about nothing you got to say. And it's so sad because as women, we're so distant when we should be together to help one another, to comfort one another, to encourage one another. And we just don't do that. There's so many women that don't care, to even speak to you, to even smile at you. So, yeah.
Well, I'm going to say something that you might get mad at me.
Okay.
But there's got to be a common denominator that brings women together. There's got to be something common. I remember back in the 60s when they all decided to take off their bras.
Oh, goodness.
They all got together. We're not going to wear a bra anymore. They all got together on that. another thing that women, that they don't even know each other, the common denominator for them to get together is that man that messed up.
Mm-hmm.
That's a common denominator right then. I truly believe we should have more than years ago had our first lady president, because women outnumber the men in the United States.
Oh, yeah.
But there's no common goal for them to come together on. And that's just sad, because you should be able to come together to put somebody in office. And all I hear, well, I don't like her. Who does she think she is? Who is this? Who is that? What is it going to take, for your opinion, for a common denominator to bring all these women together?
Oh, goodness.
Is there anything out there that you could see that could bring us together or bring them together?
Bring us as women together. I can only hope that we'll open our hearts to receive one another and to come together. I believe there's a lot of common denominators out there for women to come together. It's just, women are hard. I want to say it like that. Women are hard. And even they listening to me. Yeah, we're hard. We are hard out here towards one another. And it's a sad that we can't come together as women. So really, I don't know how to answer your question, because there's a couple of things out there to bring us together, but we have to open our hearts to one another in order to come together. So I'll say that.
And it also deals with the environment that we're in right now. It also contributes to the demographics that we're in. Like I was telling somebody the other day that you can read a book. Each person from different regions in the United States can read that book, but they all will interpret it different for how they were brought up.
Right.
But at the end, you all come up with the same answer, if that makes any sense. And so it's just, we're living in this world nowadays that it's just crazy.
Yeah.
It's just crazy. We shouldn't have to watch our backs. We shouldn't have to call the school. We shouldn't have to have cameras and all that, going on. But people don't care about cameras anymore nowadays. They could care less. They're going to go ahead and do it regardless. And then they turn around and say, that's not me. You got the same tattoo right there. Oh, that was fake. You doctor it up. So we're in that stage of denial. So, but I don't know. We sort of got off track right there. I just want to know. I just want to get your opinion on some things, and you did all right. I wasn't gonna beat you up too bad.
Don't do that now.
No, I hope the people that follow you say, what was he thinking? Ask you questions like that. I do that to get to know the real person. The stuff that you went through and where you at right now, and that smile on your face, it tells a lot. It tells your story. That by itself tells your story and what you've been through. And to have a smile on your face and have a good personality, and I can't say anything else. I mean, you keep on doing what you're doing. Be you.
Thank you.
Just be you. Do you have any closing remarks?
Closing remarks.
Shout out to people, or
shout out to people. OMG,
yeah.
Don't get me started. I got a list now.
You probably do.
Well, let's see. Shout out. I shout out to my launch family, which is Launch Survivor 210. I shout out to them because they are always encouraging me, always have my back, and always love me. I shout out to my mother. Girl, I love you. And even though my kids are not going to be on here, I love y'all too, because they too young to be on here, Facebook and all that. But I shout them out. And I shout out to all of the women that are listening to this, whether it's today, whether it's next week, whether it's next month. I shout out to you because you have a story. And not just women, men too. We all have a story, whether you're a man or woman or boy or girl, we all have a story. And I charge you to open up your mouth and tell your testimony and tell what you've been through, because you are not alone. There's somebody, maybe across the world, maybe next door to you, maybe at your job site, that have gone through what you're going through, or going through what you have, been through, and they need you. They need your voice. They need to hear that you came out. They need to know that it's going to be okay. So I shout out to all of you, and thank you, Mr. Ron, for putting me on here. I am so excited. I'm always on 10, so that's just me. I thank you for putting me on here, and certainly I thank Pastor Tanya Williams for allowing me to be in the Unmuted book, because without that, I probably wouldn't be unmuted. And just real quick, I had on my stories on Facebook, I had put about the book, and someone I went to school with in elementary, I didn't even know he remembered me. He said, "You always said you wanted to write a book, and here you are today." I said, "You're right. I said that." And here I am writing a book. And so I thank God. He should have been the first one. I thank God, because he has been with me through the fire, through the ups, through the downs, through me jumping through hula hoops. He has been with me. He is my strength. And I would not have survived without him. So that is all my shout outs and my love. So thank you so much.
Amen. Amen. Well, Jasmine, or what is your is it AKA Joy?
That's right.
See, I remember that reading your stuff, and so I put that on there, AKA Joy.
Yes.
So we appreciate you taking time out and coming on the show. It means a lot for everybody to hear you and to see you and put a face with that book, and
Yes.
nothing but good things going to come out of this for you. I see it coming. I see the blessings coming down, and you'll be taken care of with your new community center too.
Thank you.
So you take care, and we appreciate you coming on board.
Thank you. Have a blessed day.
All right, you too. Okay, bye.